What's up, peeps? Video 2. Appreciate you guys watching, tuning in again. Uh, this video, I got some mail, some Metazoo mail. I want to get into why I really got into collecting again. A little bit about me and the market, the current state of affairs in the card industry, and you know how the market will react to future news and things of that nature. So, first, got two of these babies to come through. This is the Metazoo Cryptid Nation first print, the first edition mag. Dope. These are actually a little bigger than the standard mags. These are like 8.5 by 11, so like your standard piece of paper. But very, very nice. And the premise is pretty fascinating. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna ruin it for anybody, but yeah, check that out. The second print should be dropping soon, so you guys should have an opportunity to get that. I purchased this baby, little full hollow Hodag here. It's one of the cards I'm missing from my collection. I think in my next video I might show you guys what my current collection looks like. And my first sample, good old matte locks. Sorry for the reflection there. But yeah, I decided to get this as my first sample card. Of course, you know, only 100 of these are made of each sample. But I primarily chose this to because of the gore. I think the gore of the card makes it, I don't know, the complexity of the market with cards with more gore and stuff probably get discontinued, things of that nature. Hopefully drive up the price. Look, this is an investor's channel, guys. Like, ultimately, I'm all for things being affordable at some point, but you know, there has to be some scarcity, right? There has to be some value there. You know, that's a part of the collecting industry, right? That's a part of the collecting hobby. Like, you know, do people want to have and accumulate cards that have no value? You know, I understand it's a game, it's a card game, but you know, well, that leads me to I'll actually segue into my me with that, because when I started collecting, I was into sports cards, and there is no sports card game. You know, they tried to run some sports card games out, and they just never really hit. But with that, there is no game. So it's all about value. It's all about the player, you know, who your best player, who's your favorite player, who's your favorite team. Maybe accumulate the whole team, or but ultimately it's about value, right? Like, I used to get the Beckett magazines back in the day. I think I got one laying around here. It got Barry Bonds on the front, one with Kobe, RIP. You know, so but yeah, that's what the card industry is about in terms of sports. And we're seeing a lot of these variants in the Magic the Gathering worlds, to where the product is looking more sports card like, right? You look at these Prism and Panini boxes, they look mighty similar to those Double Master VIPs, don't they? Just saying. Just saying. So they mesh. They mesh. They coincide, right? But yeah, I got into sports cards, you know, when I was a teenager or whatever, or a junior high, and then got into Pokemon. Actually, that's when it really got hot in the States, and it had the cartoon and all, and man, I wish I had those cards. Man, I'd be in good shape. I'd be in good shape. I'll say that. Be able to make some more solid investments in real estate. So, but yeah, that's a little bit. You know, I dabble in investments, right? So, I've got a couple houses. Last year, with 2020 being so weird, I decided to put some money into stocks and really try my hand at it. Let's just say I've paid my fair share of market tuition. Okay, so and that comes with the territory, right? You're diving into another realm, and wanting to teach yourself things, and hence the market tuition term. But yeah, I've learned a lot, and my account's back up to where it was normally, and so I'm in solid shape in that regard. But 2020 also led me into collecting in collectible cards as well. I can't say I've always had a desire to get back into it. I think with the overprinting and the stuff in the 90s kind of turned me off from it. Just having an investor's mindset and the lack of value. If you got a Randy Johnson Mariners, rookie card, or I think it was the Expos actually. It was the Expos, but somebody fact check me on that in comments. But but yeah, I think it's not worth much. Like there's no scarcity, so the secondary market is lame, right? Like you're not going to be able to get, as a teenager, you just want for your car to be like $20 and above, and you feel like you're on top. You throw it in a top loader, and you just look at it from time to time and feel like you've got something that has value and it's cool. Really shows you a sense of responsibility at that age. But yeah, that was my reasoning for getting back into collecting now, is to the nostalgia. I haven't really dabbled back into Pokemon much, just because I'm not. I don't know enough about that market. I've done my fair share of research in terms of Magic the Gathering. I have started to dabble in that. Another reason why I didn't really get into Pokemon again is because the Logan Paul thing. I feel like it's mooned. Like it's hit its apex, in my opinion. Now it could still go sideways on that trajectory for sure, by all means. But I just think it's hit its apex, and I'm just hoping that. Well, I know that something will happen in the Magic the Gathering world to really put it on the map or put it more mainstream to get it that sort of acclaim, or to allow it to reinvent itself like Pokemon did with the Logan Paul thing. So that is where I've put some money away in. You can see a couple boxes there in the back. Sorry for the glare again, but don't. Oh, it's on my cat. Yeah. I don't know if you guys see the Dragon's Maze. Don't make fun of me. I got that at a really good price, and I'm netting positive on that. So for all you Magic the Gathering peeps, but yeah, it's a little bit about me and why I decided to get into card collecting. A little bit of my past, present. Like I said, I've gotten into real estate and stuff. So really trying to take myself to the next level financially. And I'm hoping that you guys will stick around for the ride, and maybe I can show you some things, or you guys can show me some things, 100%. So I just want to talk about my experience, and share my opinions. But next, I wanted to get into the secondary market in Metazoo, and there's been a lot of negativity due to the the pricing of a lot of things, and I think that there is some fairness to that. However, with scarcity and FOMO, the market is going to determine the price of things, right? Like, and the market has normalized. I think people did pay about $4,000 for non-alternating Metazoo Kickstarter boxes. Not non-alternating. The standard Kickstarter boxes, $4K. They're back to around the 2,500 range. So it's easy to really get riled up. That's the easy thing to do. And frankly, if you're not a buyer and a long-term holder, in my opinion, you're really not trying to get the bag, so to speak. Like, if you sell, if you buy a $200 box and sell it at $3, that's cool. That's cool. It's cute, but you got to have patience, right? I think patience is a really undervalued quality that a successful investor has. I don't know. That's all I got in that regard. It's just, you can't go crazy when everybody's going crazy. You can't sell off, when it hits a new high, because that's not the last new high. The stock market cracked 30K, right? Like, it was just at like 26K, last year, right? Like, you have to have patience to really be a winner in investing. It's real estate, card industry, whatever, classic cars, whatever. Patience, and your investment pays off. Typically, it typically does. And there've been a lot of overreactions. Not, everybody's got their own opinion, but that's mine. They were overreactions. Metazoo as a whole, it comes down to the amount of products, right? If it's not there, it's not there. If it's not open, to everyone, or the supply is limited, it is what it is. And in a couple months, things are going to change, right? Like, this is only the Kickstarter edition. The first edition product has not even dropped yet. So, just fascinating how, before the first edition even drops, Cryptid Nation, that's the first set. Before that even drops, there's just all this negativity, which is great. It's positive, because I apply a lot of investments to, like, personal life, right? If you are walking through life, I'm sorry, and you don't have any haters, you're not doing enough, pal. You're just not. And that's just the way it is. You're coasting. Yeah, people probably aren't hating on you, buddy, but you're coasting. And, in life, you get what you earn largely, unless you're a trust fund kid, whatever. But, but yeah, I mean, and, a lot of people were, like, mentioning capitalism in some of their videos and things like that. And look, I played Monopoly when I was young. A lot of you guys did too. What is the object of the game? Is to buy out the board, build up as much as you can, renovate. I mean, throwing hotels, that's just my idea of a renovation, right? And crank up the prices. And until there's one winner. So we see monopolies all over the place now. I mean, the capitalism oligarch, the new oligarchs are the spectrums, right, of the world. The Apples, the Samsungs. There isn't enough competition, right? With more competition, it not only drives the maker to be the best, but in addition, prices drop because there is so much competition and the market can't be controlled by 2 or 3 big companies. So if you have a problem with Metazoo coming out, if you have a problem with a Flesh and Blood coming out, and you're complaining about pricing, you're inherently hurting yourself or the people that you represent, because with competition comes a better product and lower pricing. Spectrum, AT&T cable sucks. It's just like your cell phones. Verizon, you have Verizon, T-Mobile, Sprint. Where's the competition, right? Like there has to be these elements to have the best product and most competitive pricing as well. So that is what I would say to all those who are hating on these new card games, Flesh and Blood, Metazoo. I'm rooting for you guys. Always been a big guy. That roots for the underdog there. Man. So I'm just fascinated by the hate. It's fascinating to see, especially if you put it into those terms that I just explained. But yeah. On to other news. Metazoo, the Aura decks dropping Friday. So this will actually be the last product that the Patreon's done. This is the last product that the Patreon will have an advantage in terms of purchasing product. So they're done with the Patreon, which I thought was a good thing. If you weren't early on it and you're kind of get excluded for some of the product right now, like that's real. And, you want people to get a hold of the product and play the game. Like I said, I'm an investor. This whole video has been about money and investing. But I think, in order for the card game to be successful, people have to have a passion for the gameplay. And that's an important element. So, I think it's a good idea, in addition to getting rid of the bazaar. These card companies can't have a direct influence over the secondary market. So I knew it was just a matter of time for that to happen. But yeah, the Patreon's gone, is what it is. Hoping everybody who would like to get these cards in their hands can. That's important. That is important. But yeah, I just want to drop this video and kind of give you guys like a brief synopsis of me, and my investments currently. Like I said, I've gotten into MTG. You see Metazoo right there. That's an opened Kickstarter box right there. I got my hands on. So, and I'm just, acquiring more as much as possible, because I do think the card game is going to take off. It's got a really cool premise and really neat quality. The quality is just crazy. The quality, these hollows are beautiful. The nostalgia, when I look at a card, it's just like, old school Pokemon. It really is. Oh, and to address people who have been talking about Metazoo and copying things that Pokemon or this and that has done, isn't that big business? Isn't that business? Like, don't companies copy each other's features all the time? I'm pretty sure they do. I'm almost 100% accurate that they do. So for somebody to say that some art or like they're trying to copy this and that, there's a clear difference between the ideology behind Cryptid Nation and the Metazoo product. There's just a clear difference between this and Charizard or Blastoise or Venus, whatever, any Pokemon. These are clearly based on folklore, currently American. Apparently they're gonna hit the world. So I'm super excited about future sets. So yeah, that was another thing I wanted to mention. But yeah, guys, go out and get this Metazoo product. Read the story. It's nice. It's fascinating, and it's refreshing. It's refreshing to have something new in the market, right? That has quality and a really good backstory. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Sort of long video, but wanted to tap into the market and a lot of silly things that are being said about these new card games. Let's embrace them, try and give them a try first, guys, please. And beyond that, have fun with the card games. Do your thing. I'm not necessarily into it. I might try and learn how to play. Like I've gotten into MTG Arena as of late, and that's been interesting. So yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment on anything that you think was kind of spicy or a lack thereof. So again, appreciate you. Holler at me. Later, peeps.